everybody, it's Anna. Welcome to the seventh installation of the series, the Enneagram and the Major Arcana. So in this series, I'm connecting the 9 gifts of the Enneagram with the first 9 cards of the Major Arcana in the Tarot to see how they inform and support each other. So the 7th gift of the Enneagram is the gift of joyfulness. Now, as is true, I believe, of all the gifts of the Enneagram, each of us is born into one of the particular gifts. So we have a natural capacity to emanate these gifts from our birth. But as children, we have some kind of experience that tells us that maybe we don't have that gift or it's not going to flow naturally. And so we begin to, out of our anxiety about not having the gift, we begin to try to create it. And that forms the distortion around the gift. So with joyfulness, the natural gift is this flowing effervescence, this resilience, this ability to walk into a room and just light it up, right? But the distortion of the gift is the fear the person will have that they don't actually have access to joyfulness, or it's not going to flow naturally. And so they begin to avoid pain because they are afraid that the painful world around them will steal from them their joy. So when a person is living in the distortion of joyfulness and they're avoiding pain, that means they can avoid, deep conversations or deep relationships. They can avoid jobs that they're going to get bored at. That they may not be very thoughtful. They may not be very reflective because they're afraid of what will happen if they let themselves kind of sink into some darker feelings. And so this gains them often the identity of being sort of flighty and shallow, non-reflective, and not very responsible. And so it's easy for people in the distortion of joyfulness to not take themselves seriously, and for others to not take them seriously. But the truth about the gift of joyfulness is it is very, very powerful. It is so powerful that it will rise to the surface no matter what the circumstances are. So a person with the gift of joy that is flowing easily from them can walk into any tragic situation, any struggle, any blocked place, and they can emanate their joy and bring it and change the situation in front of them. So far from them being like kind of a light, fluffy energy, it's a powerful energy. And I think people with the gift of joyfulness, when they can start trusting that about themselves, they discover just how really powerful they are. So what I love about that is this gift is connected to the 7th card of the Major Arcana, which is the Chariot, which is a power card. If you think about chariots and the way they move in the world, they just blast across the land. Nothing can stop them. They are crazy powerful. They are crazy definitive in what they're doing. So in this image, we've got the charioteer standing in his chariot. He's looking out across the land. He's deciding where he wants to go. We have these 2 creatures that are ready to pull the chariot, and they're not connected by reins, so he doesn't have to even direct them where to go. Once he makes up his mind where he wants to go, these creatures will immediately jump to service and start taking him where he wants to go. And the idea behind the chariot is once you decide what you want, the universe immediately jumps to and makes it happen. But you decide from your place of joy. And that's important because so many times when we make decisions, we weigh consequences. We try to be responsible. It's a very heavy experience. Like, what's the right thing to do? These are questions that kind of engage a different place in ourselves. As opposed to saying, what would be fun? What would be exciting? What would be energizing? That's asking the question out of joy and a sense of adventure and a willingness to be alive in this moment. That is the energy that creates the best discernment possibilities. So the charioteer is thinking, what would be fun right now? Where do I want to go? Where would be a delightful place for me to visit? And once he gets clear in that and his joy has established that, immediately the universe jumps to motion to make that happen. And this reminds us that not only is joy the way we can make the best decisions for ourselves, it is actually the fuel that makes that stuff happen. So joy is not something that we, occasionally should sort of indulge in when it's convenient. It's something that we should really cultivate as a discipline in our spiritual life. And you do hear that coming up all the time with different people who talk about the law of attraction, like, cultivating, gratitude and being able to enjoy the little things in life, even enjoying eating a grape. There's all these disciplines that tell us how to be in this moment and discover the joy in the moment. And that's not because it's just trying to make us happy. It's because that is the way you access your greatest wisdom and the fuel for your life. So cultivating joy in any circumstance is something that is completely worth our time and worth our while. There's some of us who are born into it, who are just naturally joyful people, and what they need to learn is how to get out of their own heads and worry about things and instead just trust that whatever comes up, they have this power. But the rest of us have to kind of actively build this up in ourselves so that anytime we're feeling dark or heavy, we know how to get in touch with our joy. One of the best vehicles I use when I'm feeling dark or heavy is simply the question, what else is possible? Because that's an invitation of the soul to say, show me something else. And whenever we ask that question in a way that's really open and ready, we do discover a lightening. The soul is able to bring something new in, and we can release the negative feelings. So be mindful as you move forward in your spiritual journey, especially at this point in the trajectory, that, it is your joy that is now key to making the best decisions for yourself and the key to taking power and moving forward. So hope that's helpful for you. See you next time. Bye.